Hi and welcome to our short video demonstration showing the general features of XERAS Enterprise. Now we'll start the demonstration in looking at our key usage modes. Use is our main mode of use for a daily entry of data and running of a plan. We land onto our model selection screen, a view of our model repository. We're able to zoom in to the various sites of the business, click on a site and see the available XERAS models for that particular site. As we click on the models tile itself, we can look at the history of that model. So we're looking back into the version history of the model repository. We can see the branching of the different models and all of the history stored in one place. We're able to expand each tile, look at who checked the model into the repository, some data, information, comments, tags around that, and work with that history and even check the model out from there. Today we'll look at the latest model and we'll check it out from this main screen. So the model's being opened on our server and now you can see the front screen, very graphical front screen, lots of information. We can easily adjust this and fine-tune it to the way you want it to be. Add a new chart, drag and drop straight to the main window and you can see very graphical view. The main navigation within a model is through this workflow at the bottom of the screen. Here we'll click on the Update Corporate Assumptions step. We see an underlying 2 steps of that process and we'll click on Update Corporate Assumptions. So now we see the main working screen of XERAS Enterprise. You can see it's a spreadsheet view. In this example we're going to jump straight to one of our items here, an underlying formula that provides us this 500. We're going to type over that with a new number. One of the key features of XERAS is being able to track every time that we type over an entry. You can see here we're given information, do you really want to type over this value? Yes, I do. And we're able to track and follow every one of these instances. You can see with this blue dot that this is a different cell and we've locally entered a value where a formula used to be. We're able to simply remove that formula with the delete key and actually move back to our original value if we so desired. Very powerful feature, being able to override the data. So we're just navigating back now to our main screen. And again, we'll look at the workflow, jump forward a little bit and to our update equipment costs area. Now with this you see a much larger workflow, a lot more steps involved in updating equipment costing, and we'll jump straight to this update task-based maintenance items to show a different example here. So we land on a PH 4100 data entry sheet. We'll switch that now to our 240-ton trucks. And just want to show you the power of updating some of these assumptions. So we're looking at engines now. With a current frequency of 25,000 hours, we'll have a $500,000 spend. Well, what if we change that down to 3,000? A very large change, but to show you the power of the product. So that's now recalculated through, there's 32 trucks in this particular model using and relying on that assumption. So we can skip forward in our workflow down here on the right to see the resulting changes that have come from that assumption change. So we land on our cost calculation sheet. We're actually on a shovel here. So let's move forward to one of our redone trucks. And we'll focus in now on the engines and we'll see that the change to 3,000 hours has triggered an engine change out here in February and then a second engine change out occurring out in October and the corresponding costs associated with those two dates. So it's a very quick and simple update process and very powerful. But what you might want to do is look at a detailed audit associated with that. How did XERAS come up with the values? So let's run our audit tool and see the details here. Firstly, we can see the event interval, which is what we just typed in, the 3,000 hours. This machine actually had a starting age, and this can be brought in from your ERP system. And you can see now the planned usage of the machine that's coming from the mine planning system. Bringing all that data together, you can see how the engine will age out to its 3,000 hour limit and then be changed out. It resets to 0, builds up again to the next 3,000 hour interval, and here's your next change out frequency. And you can see that will continue on. So we're able to show you all of the detailed calculation logic in one view. We're just working our way back to the main screen once again, and we'll continue on to show another feature of XERAS is what we call drill down. It continues on with that auditing theme. So we'll jump into this administration cost workflow step. We'll go straight to our review total administration costs, and we'll find a specific example to show you of this drill down tool. This will work on any cell throughout the model. This one's just been set up to show a specific example. You can see at the top, here's our formula in this cell, row 10 times row 12 plus row 17 divide row 18. Fairly simple formula, but you'll see the power. Let's drill down on that. And what you see is a very unique visual representation of the function itself. Here we can click on the root cell, and there's our original formula. We can look at each component of the formula and how they interact with each other. We can expand the box, see some details of which spreadsheet, where is the data coming from. You can see it's these first two cells are multiplied by each other. On the right, these two cells are divided into each other, and the result is all added together. But there's more to it than just that. We can continue to build this diagram further. Let's drill down on this particular cell. And you can see that it's now showing that cell as the next root cell and the details below that, which is a XERAS aggregation formula. There's one cell contributing. It's coming from the general manager's cost center. So let's continue the drill down. Let's follow this path. Where does the data actually come from? And we can continue to follow this pathway, and we see now the drill down for that cell. This is a more traditional, typical formula that you would see in a spreadsheet. We've got these two cells multiplied by each other. The result is multiplied by a date range formula. Are we within or outside of a date range? And then we also have that multiplied by an if test. And you can see very clearly that within the if test, is there a true or false answer being provided? And it was the false answer that was being used. And ultimately we can see this multiplied by the last item. We can also look at each item or each cell within its spreadsheet view. So let's click the Go To spreadsheet, and we can see now here's our $250 sitting in the General Manager's Cost Center. So it's a very powerful way of visualizing, but also building a cost driver tree for the model itself. Now we've come back to the main screen, and let's look at another one of our key features, which is our analysis reporting tool. You can see again a very modern user interface to show the reports in a tile format. And simple drag and drop process here to copy a report or create a new report. So we'll copy the employee cost report in this example. So it's a pivot based engine. You can see the chart and the pivot table here. Let's go to the properties and make a small change. We'll keep the underlying data properties, but we'll just rename the report in this case. But all of the data is sourced from within the model using the data filters you can see on screen. That creates a data table that sits behind the pivot reporting here and makes it very simple now to use your drag and drop features. We've got employee types by month at the moment. Perhaps we don't want to see the cost by month. We'd rather see the cost by cost center. Simply drag cost center in, and you can see change in data and the ad hoc analysis capability of this reporting tool. As you'd expect, lots of different charting options. Let's jump on and look at a pie chart, and we can see all of the data very visually here as well. So quite a powerful reporting tool for your ad hoc analysis. Exportable to other systems, printable of course. We'll just save this one for now. We'll just come back to the main screen of the report feature. You can see our demo report here. As we saw before, drag and drop capability just to simply organise them. Or if you don't want the report anymore, just bring it down and drop it in the bin. Very simple user interface, easy to learn, easy to navigate. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what if I did that by accident? What if I need to undo that change? Well, we've got a command log. So we can go to the command log. We can view all of the history within that session of the working with the model of the various changes that you've been making to that model. So here we can see a list of all of the tasks that we've been doing in this example. And of course, if we select our previous action, we're able to undo back to that point. So a full command history, but also the ability to undo is very, very powerful in a server-based database application. And that completes our short tour of the XERAS Enterprise features. Please do give us a call if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.